In this episode of Motive Garage, we get our engine back into our R32 GT-R and get the car running.
Well, this issue of Motive Garage is pretty special and one I've been waiting for a very long time, and I'm sure you guys have as well. The Croydon Racing Developments built Nitto 3.2 stroker engine is ready to go into our GT-R. Now, it's not just a fresh engine going in and bolt everything back on. Obviously, converting to RB30 means we already know we're going to have to modify the dump pipe, the intercooler pipe, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other little things that pop up that we're going to have to modify to suit the taller engine block. There are a few little changes to the setup with wiring and sensors and things like that, but we do have the same inlet manifold and same turbocharger and stuff as last time, so we can test 2.6 versus 3.2 back to back before we then go and test some inlet manifolds and obviously the new G45 turbo later. But for now, we need to get it in the car and then get to work on all those small little changes so we can get it running. It's a big day coming up. Let's do it. So the gearbox crossing with factory bushes are pretty much totally just perished, destroyed and wrecked. So we got Superpro new bushes, polyurethane. So once we get out these, look at that, it's so crummy. We'll get that out of there. And then basically, they go in the bottom, that goes over the top, the sleeve, metal sleeve goes through, and bam, nice solid gearbox mounts that don't flap around everywhere anymore. Easy squeeze, making my life easier since Newlon invented it. It's pretty good. Put that tube in, squeeze it, oil comes out. So none of this tom thumb jerking off motion non-stop for 10 minutes, and you don't get, in theory, much spillage or wastage.
You on it? Yeah. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Well, it was a big day and we got a lot done on our first day back on the GT-R. Most importantly, engine, clutch box, all of the drivetrain is in the car. Obviously, all the turbo, manifold, etc. is on. I've rocked up on day 2 and Steve's already done the fabrication work to the dump pipe and the intercooler pipe. So now it's just a matter of going through a lot of little things to kind of finish off the car and tidy it up. Some unexpected things we found with the RB30 conversion were things like, obviously the block moving up has moved the water pump pulley, which then hit the thermo fan on our radiator. So we needed to make a couple of modifications to that. We needed to muck around with a few of the lines that have moved due to the height of the block as well. And the other thing we have to do is plumb in the new Clearview oil filter, make some braided lines for that, tidy up a little bit of wiring, and hopefully pretty much by the end of today we should be almost ready to start the car. So mounting our 6-inch Clearview was looking like a pretty difficult proposition. At first I thought we were going to have to put it under the car at the bottom and basically be where, you know, the bottom of the front rad support is. I was really worried that was too low to the ground, very hard to kind of avoid contact in an incident. I didn't want to put it this side originally because of obviously longer lines and trying to fit a filter and everything. We have worked out if we move some of the wiring out of the way, move a couple of brackets down here out of the way, we can actually sit this down low, off to the side, get perfect access to it and still run a filter over the top while we're using this turbo setup. So we worked it out in the end. It's actually going to be pretty easy to mount after all that, which is just 4 holes in the tray there of the wheel arch and then basically a couple of spaces to get the height right and it's in. So I'll get that done and then I can get the lines going. Well, it's day 4 at CID of putting our GT-R together, and you may have noticed we've skipped day 3 in our video coverage, and that's because I came in on a Saturday on my own and basically did the oil lines, put all the fuel lines back in, basically tied up a few loose ends, made some new radiator brackets and got almost the entire car back together. The only thing we have to do this morning is get a back pressure sensor done with the steel tubing, and then I can put on the external wastegate and dump pipe, put fluids in, prime it, and it's ready to start. So here we go. Let's get the car running again. Well, the first start is always a nervous one, but I'll be honest, that was probably the most uneventful first startup I've had of any engine build. It pretty much started straight up because I had the same injectors and tune in it. No leaks, no dramas, bled the cooling system, kind of had to adjust the fuel a little bit based on the 3.2 and the injectors having been cleaned out. We bled the clutch and, well, the car works, it's running. All we've got to do from here is Con needs to get it on the dyno. We need to bed the rings in correctly on the dyno. We'll probably change the oil after that, and then Con will give us the car with basically a lowered rev limiter. This whole run-in tune is ridiculous. All you have is a tune, except we'll just have it on wastegate pressure, probably 3,500 RPM rev limit. Go put 1,000 Ks or 800 Ks on the car, and then we're ready to tune. So some pretty exciting times coming up. So the stressful part is kind of done now. Now we're just into, I guess, developing it, getting it ready and having some fun with it.